everything that the separate self or the finite mind does is done for a reason. Mm-hmm. So at the level of the finite mind, cause and effect operates. There is a reason for everything we do. And the finite mind, in its ignorance, presumes that the cause and effect that pertains to its life also pertains to consciousness. Therefore, the separate self thinks, or the finite mind thinks, I have a cause or a reason for everything I do. Therefore, consciousness must have a cause. There must be a cause or a reason for everything that consciousness does. In other words, there must be a cause or a reason for creation. There isn't. Imagine the cause of creation. So we have consciousness, and now before consciousness has manifested creation, so prior to creation, so there's nothing manifested, your question is implying that there must be a reason. So there's consciousness, then a reason for creation, then creation. But the reason for creation would already be something in creation. It would already be something manifest. Yes, any reason is something manifest. It's not formless consciousness. So consciousness doesn't, there is no cause or reason for creation. It is causeless. It is a spontaneous overflowing of consciousness within itself. It is the nature of consciousness to manifest its infinite potential. It doesn't do it for a reason. Now, the finite mind doesn't like that answer, because the finite mind wants to find a reason for. The finite mind finds a reason for everything that takes place in its world, and therefore it presumes that consciousness must obey the same laws. It doesn't. So that the finite mind is frustrated by that answer, and therefore, as a concession to the finite mind, some teachings will give a reason. One of the most common reasons is consciousness needs to create the world in order to know itself. It's not true. Consciousness knows itself by itself, in itself, as itself. So there are, or consciousness is lonely by itself. So there are all sorts of answers that are given either as a concession, or they're either misunderstandings or concessions.
That would be a codependent relationship with consciousness, to think that consciousness is lonely, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah. But the best answer the mind, the most honest answer the mind can give is to say that there's no cause for creation. Creation is causeless. It is spontaneous. The next best answer that I know, which makes a little bit more of a concession, but to me a legitimate one, is what Hafiz, the Sufi Hafiz, said. He said that creation is a movement of beauty for the sake of love. Was it the other way around? I think he said it was a movement of love for the sake of beauty. I would be willing to make that concession.
Okay.